It's just so huge compared to a normal.
It's really big.
A normal Mooney. Kevin, you're the owner.
At the moment. And it's a 222 knot airplane. It's not a slouch by any means.
Mooney Mustang.
It's kind of an ugly duckling. So the stall speed on this is between 50 and 56.
Which is really good for a plane that looks heavy, that looks...
well, it's a plus 200 mile an hour airplane.
Yeah. So what's the wingspan on this?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, will it fit in a regular T-hanger is kind of where I'm going with that.
Yeah, it's longer, but it's longer than the Bonanza, but shorter than the Malibu.
You know, you get those...
I will continue to fly this now because I sold my Turbo Bonanza, and this is the only thing that's that fast anymore that I have. If I sell this, I'll find something else, another project to play with.
Right.
But if I sell this, it is a flying project. I mean, people are going to buy this, they're going to work on it. They're going to do something
So
else.
currently airworthy, it's flying, but it still has squawks and stuff that needs to work. So if you're going to buy an airplane like this, it's because you want to own a vintage airplane that's really high performance.
And aviation's in your blood.
And the day and age of where they would take risks like this with design and make something as solid as this have gone by, kind of. What other airplanes I can think of where they were made really solid, but they kind of gave up on it because it was all about how much it would cost to build.
How about
And
the Starship?
the Beach Starship, I'm thinking of the Aero Commander, the twin. Those things are like tanks. So that's the feeling I'm getting from this one.
Yeah, it's like a tank.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Have you got any videos of you flying it yet?
No, because nobody's around when I take it out.
Well, you got to let me know.
Yeah.
I'll come out and film you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You see what's happening?
Yeah, the trim is moving the whole assembly. So that's how it trims. Is that the case on all Moonies?
All movies trim the same way.
Wow.
The other thing that makes these, one of the things that makes this faster than my Bonanza, the Turbo Bonanza, is that Moonies already have flap gap and aileron seals. Okay? The Moonies got, if you look at the flap when it goes all the way up, it seals against the bottom of the wing tight. And if you look at the elevator, you got your elevator control. It's got a little piece of metal in there that goes along the whole thing. And sometimes, if a Mooney sits out for a long period of time, you have to clean that area because it'll get little stones and rocks in it. So it's like dental flossing your teeth. It's so tight you have to get those little rocks out or else they'll grind into the aluminum.
What were you saying about the air intake here?
Well, Mooney wanted to keep, when they put this engine in here, this is a Duke engine, but they went ahead and changed it a little bit, so it's a little bit different designation engine. But the reason it's difficult to put the Duke engine into this airframe is because Mooney wanted to keep their ram air. Because with the ram air system, it's unfiltered air directly into your throttle body or your turbocharger, wherever you're taking your fresh air in. And you'll pick up 2 or 3 inches of manifold pressure. This is the ram air door. Mooney wanted to keep that.
Okay.
So this engine's a little bit different than the Duke engine in the fact that the oil pan's deeper. So that's one of the modifications you'd have to do to put the Duke engine in here, as well as a 3-blade prop. You'd have to put a Duke prop on it.
And so the air goes in through there.
Goes in through here, directly in, and goes directly through and comes into the turbocharger right here through this big duct.
Well, directly.
Directly. And when you close the door, when you're on the ground, because you don't want to suck any bugs into your engine, when you close that door, there's a baffle down inside that ram air tunnel that closes off and throws it through an air filter and then lets it come back up.
Ah, okay, I see.
So the air to the engine coming through normal channels.
So here it's coming in unfiltered.
Unfiltered air. And when it's filtered, it's going through, making several 90-degree turns to get back up.
So you don't want to open that anywhere on the ground.
No. You'll suck bugs in there.
Bugs or debris or grass. Okay.
Dust storms, tumbleweeds in New Mexico.
Yeah. Interesting. Did not know that.
Yeah, that's a typical Mooney trait.
And it gets an extra what?
2 to 3 inches of manifold pressure.
Nice. On a turbocharger. Wow.
This is turbocharged, but you still get fresh air. You'll still gain 2 or 3 inches of manifold pressure by opening that door.
Okay.
And then this little apparatus here is your pressurization, and this lever makes it manual, so you can pressurize the airplane or not. If you have problems with insurance and pressurized airplanes, just tell them I don't fly it with pressurization.
That's one way of saying it.
I never push that lever in.
And where's the lever in the airplane?
It's just below the pilot, about center console.
Center console.
Pressurization on the left side of the yoke, I think.
Oh, over there. Yeah. That's okay.
Oh, let me get my video pointer.
There you go.
There we go. And that one that's out right there,
Okay.
that's flying around non-pressurized, and as soon as you push that in, it'll pressurize the cockpit.
And will it pressurize partially, completely?
Depends on how far you push it in.
Oh, so it's variable.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like on-off, it's variable. And then you have a gauge in there that shows you the
It
level?
shows you your cabin altitude, and then you've got the gauge to show you your outside altitude.
Okay, cool. So pretty simple system, really.
Yeah. And then I added this because we had a problem with oil pressure in the beginning. I didn't have oil pressure, and I knew the engine was running and it had plenty of oil pressure. So we put this in here to kind of monitor while we were doing all the test runs on the ground. Because the actual Mooney gauge is the same gauge that's in all the Moonies. There's 6 instruments in one gauge. And to get that electricity to the gauge, there's a cannon plug here on the firewall. So instead of the oil pressure really going into the cockpit, it's going through a sender and goes in as electric impulse,
okay.
and tells you if you got oil pressure.
And so it wasn't reading right?
It wasn't reading right, and that still fluctuates on me. I might have to get another gauge inside.
If somebody
or something.
upgraded this with like a modern engine monitor or something.
Oh, you could. If you put it on a modern engine monitor,
Yeah.
you'd be fine.
Yeah, go away. Interesting. I haven't seen this before. So you just added this piece of aluminum.
Yeah, I just cut that to hang this gauge onto because I needed to know I had pressure.
Right.
I wanted to be confident. And when it's running, I can look in through the cowl flap here. You see, these are the cowl doors.
Oh, yeah.
And I can look in through the cowl door and see if I got oil pressure.
Okay, cool.
If I'm worried about, I'm not worried about it anymore. The engine makes good oil pressure. The
Excellent.
compressions are all in the high 70s. It's a good, it's solid engine.